Good morning, everybody. Vasilis Jurasis for Trader24. No trade on the local market yesterday. The JSE closed due to a public holiday as South Africa celebrated Women's Day. Leading up to Wednesday's close, however, we did see our market hit another record high. We also saw some sector switching, money moving out of the industrial counters back into resources. We saw stocks like Exxaro, Anglo PLC, BHP, Billiton all moving up nicely. Another stock that was doing well was Sasol. That hit an intraday high of 365 Rand. Then, however, it did come out with a trading statement. Earnings missing expectations, and that stock getting walloped, down 15 Rand from its intraday high to close at around about the 350 mark on the close. Leading into today's trade, we did see the Dow break a 4-day winning streak last night. I had a look at the Asian indices earlier this morning. They were all negative. I did say in a previous webcast that it did seem as if our markets were poised for a bit of a breather. On the local front, we could see some profit taking going into the weekend. In the bigger scheme of things, however, the trend is your friend. I still think the momentum can be carried forward into next week. We could see the markets next week continuing the trend to move slightly higher. I think there's a lot of optimism out of the ECB that they might surprise with good news come September the 6th. Also optimism that the Fed might add more stimulus. I feel that until such time we get solid news out of either the ECB or the Fed, that we could see that momentum carried through. Another hot topic of conversation recently has also been that of soft commodities. We've seen corn, soya beans and wheat prices all moving higher, this due to a drought back in the US, also raising fears of another food crisis. Various bodies, however, governments, companies, humanitarian agencies, they've all come out and concluded that the surge price is not as bad as the one that happened back in 2007, 2008, but a concern for inflation nonetheless. On the local front, for South African farmers, the higher prices were always going to pressurize our farmers as well, not only from the point of view of higher grain prices, but also from demand for our maize from countries who normally rely on US supply. Last week, for example, South Africa exported its most amount of white maize than any other week this year. What this does in effect is it guarantees, it pretty much guarantees a surplus for farmers going forward into the planting season. And with stronger exports, we could see a stronger Rand, and the Rand maize price could actually act as a bit of a buffer to local South Africans in terms of prices. We'll see how that plays out going into the weekend. Stay tuned. On Monday, we'll be sending out a new newsletter. You can view that letter on www.trader24.co.za, and then on Tuesday, we'll be posting a couple of new graphs and discussing them on the webcast. Vasilis Jurasis for Trader24.